Hail to thee, my kindred. I hope you're all having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and night, wherever and whenever you are. Hello. Hi. Hooey. Hooey, 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 hooah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah. Sorry. A little strange today is how I am. A little bit strange. Nothing too... Yes, wait, huh? I don't know what I just said. A combination of sounds is more my style today, apparently. But we are continuing with Cemetery Mary today because, as I said, Wednesday, which is today, I am almost certain it is Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday today. We're going to continue with the Reginald's good ending path, and then hopefully after that, we can go down with Twyla and see what she's all about. But before we get to that, I did kind of want to do a little yap, just a little bit, not too much, because like I said, we're gonna get right to it, just because of the fact that, hey, the game is long, the damn thing is long. You're gonna sit here for a very long time, reading a lot of words. I did want to mention something I found to be cool, which was another VTuber. I found a VTuber that was, or is I should say, a a stop motion style VTuber, and their like stuff is so cool. The name is Alpine Showtime. That is Alpine Showtime. Pretty cool from what I've seen so far. Very, very obviously like specific is not the word I'm looking for. Unique. That's the word. It is very unique. Because the fellow uses genuine like stop motion things, and I imagine it works similar to a PNG model, like, you know, you're using frames and pictures and then, you know, just kind of stacking them on top of each other, and, you know, whenever you talk, then it talks, and whenever you don't talk, it doesn't talk, that kind of thing. But still very cool indeed. Probably will check out more from that fellow in the future. Saw them on TikTok first, and then decided to check him out on Twitch. Very neat. Very, very special. Anyhow, yes, Cemetery Mary. We're gonna continue on our journey. I have the guide pulled up so as to not lose myself in the process of going down this path. Because I have the tendency to forget. Now we are going to have to remember exactly where we were. I think it was this one. Sunday, February 9th, right? Yes, because that was only a few days ago. Okay, sure. There isn't any sound. Let me just make sure that's the game not playing anything. It is indeed the game not playing anything. So no need to worry there. Alright, I forgot who I was reading from. Whose perspective, eh? Whose perspective? I believe it was Mary. I'm 90% sure it was Mary. It's probably Mary. In the following days, I already misread something. Already. We're off to a good start, folks. Off to the greatest of starts. The next days following, I didn't feel so great. I must have caught something that day, but I wasn't aware there was anything going around. Maybe it was just a bad cold? I don't know. I just couldn't help but feel so sick. It wasn't as extreme as the first day, but I still felt so horrible. Right, because we left off coming back home to the cabin from Reginald's place, because we were at the funeral, and then we got sick at the funeral, and then we asked Reginald if we could stay at his place, and so he took us to his place, and we were kind of, sort of. The TV was giving us a strange message that we couldn't really decipher. And then Mary woke up, and yeah, she just continued with her day. And I was so terribly dizzy. My head was also always throbbing. I would try to just nap it off, but I couldn't stay asleep for so long. Though sometimes I would just pass out anyways. I wish I knew why I was sick, but I didn't really want to go to the doctor just yet. Hopefully, if I waited a while, it would just pass on its own. And that's how it usually works, anyways. Yeah, I too just wait around until any ailments just leave. You honestly do have to kind of wait them out most of the time. Most of the stuff that you get, you just wait out and you're good to go. It's not pleasant, but it is the way of things. So, here I sit. I just hope I'll have the energy in me to get up later. Because sitting here, I'm not feeling too hot. Yeah, look at her. Poor gal. Poor Mary. She looks so sad. I heard familiar footsteps down the stairs and turned into this room. Psst. Hey, Mars. You awake? Yeah, I'm up. Okay, just wanted to make sure. And I'm going to head out for a little, alright? What? It's just for a little, okay? I'll be back before you know it. Croven, please don't leave. I'm sick. I know, Mary, I know. But this is important, alright? But what if I need something? What if I pass out again? Come on, Mars, you're not that bad. Besides, it's not like I could really do much for you. I don't like to be left alone when I'm sick. I know, but like I said, this is important. It's more important than me? Mars. Do you really need me to stay that badly? I think we are supposed to say no. We're supposed to let him leave. Let me see. Tell Croven it's okay for him to leave. We shall tell him it is fine. It is fine. Leave us be, Croven. I'll be okay. Are you sure? No, yeah, it's okay. You said it was important, right? So you can go. I'm not that bad. Alright, thanks, Mars. I'll make it up to you later, promise. Croven left out the door shortly after that, and then I was all alone again. I pulled out my phone to give me something to do. The light felt so bright, like it was stinging me. Even when I turned it to the lowest brightness, it still hurt. The words and images on it looked almost blurry. It was hard to focus on it. I went to my contacts and hit the call button. I didn't know if he would even answer, but it was worth a shot, right? Hello? Hi. Mary? Are you feeling alright? You still sound quite sick. Yeah, I'm okay. Well, actually, I'm not. I still am pretty sick. But it's not as bad as before. That's good then. I hope this is alright to say, but you sound upset. Is everything okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just a little lonely, I guess. I don't know. I'm sorry I just called you out of the blue like this. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry if I bothered you or something. Don't say that. You're not a bother. Thanks. Sorry, I don't know. I guess it's just because I'm so sick. I don't know what to do with myself. My cousin was just here, but he left. So I'm just feeling... I don't know. I didn't want to be alone. I'm sorry. It sounds really silly when I say it out loud. Oh. Huh? I'm really sorry someone would just up and leave you like that. Oh, no, it's not like that. I'm okay. It's really not that big of a deal. Really? I mean, I don't know. I say I don't know a lot, don't I? But I just wanted to talk, I guess. Poor Mary. I hate being sick too. To be struck by the plague gods is not a pleasant thing. I completely understand. Tell me about whatever you'd like. I don't mind. You're not busy or anything? Nope. I was just reading. What are you reading? Oh, just some silly mystery novel. I'm a little over halfway through. Could you read it out loud, if that's alright? Why? I just think it'd be nice. I don't know. Like, I won't feel like I interrupted you by calling. Besides, you have a nice voice too, you know? I could picture you making audiobooks or something. That's the first time I've ever heard that. Is this my debut? Maybe. Are you sure you want me to read to you, though? You might get spoilers if you ever want to read it yourself. And you don't even have context for any of the events. I think it'll be really nice. It might help me distract me from being sick, too. I mean, unless, of course, you don't want to or anything. Oh, please. I'd love to. Now, where was I? Uh-huh. Here we are. Ahem. But things still didn't add up. If he truly was dead at 5, then how could he be there at 6? Who are they trying to fool? I rested my eyes as Reginald read his book to me. I liked listening to it, even if I didn't remember a lot of it. It was nice. And lasted for a while, too. Eventually, Reginald said there was another call coming in, and told me he had to take it. So I let him go after that. Might as well have happened. It was just about dinner time. Kroven still wasn't home, though. I wasn't sure if I should prepare anything for him. I decided not to. I was sick, after all. I didn't want to get him sick, too. So I mustered the strength to make dinner for myself. Before I knew it, the sun started to set outside. So I trudged my way upstairs, getting ready for bed. I hoped I'd be able to sleep the whole night this time. But of course, it couldn't just be that simple. Even in my sick state, I still had to talk to, well, you know. Mystery phone. I know you want to message me. Oh? You've beaten me to the punch. You mentioned you were feeling unwell the other night, so please give tonight a rest and go to bed. I might actually listen to you for once. Do take care if it gets too serious. I will. Please do. We worry about you. Good night, Mary. Still wondering who this man is. Could it be Mother? I kind of doubt it is. You know, the only... At this point, I'm just reaching for straws. Is that even how you say the saying? I don't know. It's something about straws. Plucking at straws? No, nah. It's been a few days, and I'm feeling a lot better. So I'm glad I didn't catch anything too serious. But how sick I felt really got me wondering. Especially with that coffin. There was something about it. I had to know more. Of course you do. Although it's too late for me to get to it now. But I was overcome with a desire to know what had been making me feel so strange around it. Even if I couldn't get to that coffin again, there was still a place I could go to. And I found myself back at that church. And I felt uneasy walking in. But I don't feel sick anymore. The atmosphere here was no longer heavy. At least not as heavy as it had been before. I still felt some sense of pressure. But it was nowhere near as bad as it had been. It didn't feel great to walk into a church and immediately feel like something was wrong. Yeah, I'm sure that's a little bit ominous of a feeling. There had to be someone I could talk to in here. I walked through the halls. There were no services today, so there was nobody really. And I wondered about the long halls with their tall wall. What? I'm misreading the hell out of this. I wondered about the long halls with their tall walls. Something about walking through a building like this, deafeningly silent, and feeling a sense of pressure. Well, it just didn't feel quite right. Eventually, though, I made it to a room with someone in it. A priest standing at the far end. Getting closer, I recognized him as being the same from the funeral service. Maybe they could help me then. I lightly coughed as I approached closer to alert them of my presence. They looked up to speak to me. May I help you? Yes, actually. I just, it's hard to explain, but, I don't know. I just need some help. Help is here for you. What do you need help with? Well, I was here for a funeral service not long ago. And when I was here, I started feeling not that great. Even now, I don't feel like I think I should. And, well, my life in general hasn't been taking the best of turns lately. I'm sorry. I'm sure this is really stupid. But I guess I'm wondering, which one of these questions are we supposed to answer? Or ask, actually. Mary runs into the alleyway. Oh, nope, that's not there yet. Are you sure? Tell Croven it's okay for him to leave. When talking to the priest at church, ask if someone is trying to contact you. That's what we have to ask. Sorry about that. Is someone trying to contact me? Would you be able to know? Now. It's quite alright. Even if you feel confused now, I'm sure the light of your situation will reach you soon. God loves all their children very much so, and that includes you. So there is no reason to worry. Unless, of course, you've done something wrong. What? No, of course not. I mean, I don't think I've done anything wrong. Are you sure? Perhaps you should look over your actions. Sometimes it is easy for us to overlook all we have done wrong. Perhaps that is why God may be treating you in such a way. To remind you of what needs to be done. I see. Maybe there is something I could do better. We can always do better. But do not fret, as I have said. God loves all children, and that includes you. Sometimes love may be tough, but the point will get across in the end. Yes, you are correct. Is there anything more you'd like to ask about? Um, I want to ask about... No more questions, I think. No more questions. No more. Thank you for your assistance. Of course. Please do not feel scared. You coming in here proves to me that you do not wish to be a bad person. I'm sure God has a plan for you. Do not stress about the outcome. It is in their hands now. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much. I exited the church shortly after. I wasn't quite sure how to feel. I didn't quite feel like I got the answers I was looking for. The pressure began to lift off my shoulders once again once I was out the doors. But I still just couldn't shake the feeling of there being something more to all this. Hail to thee, Ken. How do you do on this fine day? Lovely seeing you here. We're just reading through this visual novel because I have to get through it. There's still too many damn endings to go through. You're doing good? That is great to hear. I'm doing just fine myself. Woke up a little while ago, feeling a little, well, normal, but emotionally speaking, just feeling a little dumb in a funny way. Because I did it, I came onto stream and I immediately not knew what to say. Said my usual line, and then just continued as if my strangeness wasn't a thing. Outside of that, things have been normal. I got to eat Taco Bell today. It's been a long while. You have taken multiple naps already. That, not a bad thing, I think. Are you feeling ill, or is it just you wanting to have taken multiple naps? Because I feel that. Like 3? 3 naps in one day. I guess it depends on how long those naps are. Determines whether they're, something you should be worried about. Just really tired? I see. That's not too bad. Not too bad then. I too get like that sometimes when I mess up my sleep schedule pretty bad. And I have to take a nap, and then I usually will take a nap prior to stream, and then hopefully am able to take another nap after the stream if I'm having one of those days, but luckily today is not one of those days. Let me continue reading here on a bit. But I still just couldn't shake the feeling there being something more to all this. Something I was missing. I decided to head to the library. Ooh, library. Maybe I could look at some books. Not necessarily about religion, but maybe stuff about omens or signs. Because if there really was a sign, I didn't want to miss it. So I made my way to the library as briskly as I could and started taking out book after book to see what might help me with all this. Right, she went to a church because she was feeling sick. Well, she was sick indeed, and then she vomited some weird black ooze stuff in the bathroom. So there's weird shenanigans going on. She went to the church thinking she could find answers. She couldn't, so now she's gonna go to the library and try to look for something. I was sure that I'd be able to at least find something. Even something small is better than nothing. I still love that face. The first time I saw that face, I was like, that's cute. Cute little face. I picked up a few books and sat myself down on a corner to read them. I must say, though, I couldn't really understand most of it. I tried very hard to, but lots of it just didn't make sense to me. Still, though, I didn't want to leave without finding something out. Surely one of these books had to help me. I don't know if we have to look a specific thing up for this, or if we can just look through everything. I'm guessing we can just look through anything because it doesn't say anything here on the guide. Wishes. What is it that you wish? Is it a desire? Perhaps it is even a need. People wish for many things, every day, all the time. Whether it is out of want or out of necessity, do you truly believe a wish can come true no matter how nonsensical it seems? They say there are many ways for a wish to come true. Many wish on a shooting stars or the first star they see come nightfall. Many wish upon dandelions or by blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. But make no mistake, a wish is best burned. Burned? A burned wish is bound to come true. At the very least, it has the closest chance. The next time you must wish, try burning it. The results may not be what you imagined, but they are almost sure to come true. A burned wish. The manga that had that weird writing on it. It all started happening after I burned that book. Maybe whoever left that there left stuff in the other books. I put the book down and rushed quietly to the manga shelf. A burned wish comes true. I wonder, was it someone's wish that I burned? Or maybe I set off a curse in its place? If I burned it, did that wish count for me too? I eventually made it to the shelf I was looking for. Mostly all the set was here. Maybe whoever wrote in that book wrote more in the rest? I took out a book and hurriedly skimmed through the pages. I didn't even care about the spoilers I might get by doing so. When the book had nothing in it, I tried another and then another. And then one of the books fell off the shelf. And it surprised me just a bit. And sounded especially loud in the quiet library. And as I went to squat down and pick it up, I noticed it had opened itself. On the page was a cemetery of all things. But even stranger, there was a slip of paper that had found its way into the book as well. Was this left by the same person who left such a mess in the other book? I picked it up and began to read the note that was left. People are never gone forever. I promise you this statement is true. There is no such thing as a departed soul. Not anymore. I will not regret this decision. But I must live knowing the truth of it. Not because no one will listen, but because it will leave me lonely for a long, long time. And that's okay. It doesn't really feel lonely even when it does. In fact, it's kind of fun. I wonder how much I will be able to see before it's over. Let me take a little screenshot of this to use for a thumbnail. And go from this end right here to right there. Bam. Screenshot. Hell yeah. That is, if you ever even if you ever intended for this to have an ending to begin with. It makes me wonder how many variations I will see. Say, if you're reading this, and I know you are, why don't you tell me? I'd love to hear your side. And the note ended there. I'm not entirely sure what it means. You don't know what's happening, but you love this art style. Oh, the art style is pretty nice. I like it too. I can give you a bit of a summary, I guess, for this run if you want to kind of catch up. It's gonna take a little bit, and it's gonna come out kind of probably out of order, because running through it myself, I kind of don't remember some of the bits and pieces. But basically, There's a murderer in town, and our parents had us move in with our cousin, quote unquote, who's really just a close family friend, but the two families were close enough that they, consider our character Mary considers the other character Croven, who we might see later, to be our cousin. And after her stay at the cabin for a while, her parents disappear. After her parents disappear, a while after that, Croven's parents end up dead. We assume they were murdered, but Mary herself doesn't know. And so that's kind of left in the air, just in there. Just left up in the air. We don't know. What happens after that? Then I guess the game essentially starts. You get to choose who you want to hang out with most of the time, right? In this path, we're obviously trying to get the good end with Reginald, who is a blonde fellow. He is a fellow who we know because of the other endings is the murderer, but each character has a good ending and a bad ending. We're trying to get the good ending for Reginald this time around. I've so far gotten the bad ending for him, the bad ending for Twyla, who's a chick that's trying to investigate the murders. She's very much, how do you say? She's mean. She's mean. Professional, but mean. I already said I've gotten Reginald's bad ending. I've gotten the bad ending for her, and I've gotten the good ending for Croven. I still haven't figured out how to get the true ending, because there's a seventh true ending. So after I get all the other endings, I'm going to try and get that ending. And so far, with this path, we've just been hanging out with Reginald. Reginald seems pretty nice to Mary. He's got sort of a thing for her, I guess. And Mary, is cool with him. She likes the fact that he's a coffin maker. That's a thing he does. He makes coffins. And she was like, "Oh my god." She was really hyped up about that because she likes to visit the cemetery, as is the name of the game, Cemetery Mary. She got a whole nickname for it. She just likes to visit the dead. And she's really nice. She's not weird. That's like the one weird thing about her. I mean, she just has a bit of a thing for cemeteries. And then after a while, weird things start happening. I did mention earlier that she had gone to a funeral because that's something she does often. She shows up at people's funerals to just kind of, pay respects and whatnot. This time, the last funeral was at the church. She, for some reason, started feeling very sick, went to the bathroom, vomited up a bunch of strange black liquid, went to the church again to try and find an answer from the priest, but the priest, obviously, just being a priest, was just giving her your typical priestly, comforts, which was not the types of answers she was looking for. And now we're at the library, and that's that. I think that's really all the important bits outside of just hanging out with Reginald. Not much really happens, to be fair, when we hang out with Reginald. It's just like, sort of, I guess, the two of them becoming friendly with each other. And Reginald being very accommodating is also a thing. I couldn't really understand any of it. I'm sure I'm missing a whole story behind it, but whoever wrote it, I hope you know that I'm listening, and I hope you won't be lonely for long. Because nobody should ever, ever have to be lonely, right? That's a thing she kind of believes in, that like people in the cemeteries aren't lonely or alone. Because, obviously there's like funerals, and then she comes to visit the people at the cemetery and puts down flowers on their graves and whatnot. I left the library that day, or after that. It couldn't be a coincidence that the manga just happened to open to a page with a cemetery on it. So I decided I would check there for anything new or suspicious. Any kind of sign. I spent a while there, going down rows, inspecting each grave for something new, something different. A letter that changed, or a color that shifted. Anything. And then I happened upon it. in the way, way, way back of the cemetery, right before the iron fence, where the cemetery ends and the forest begins, there was a new grave there, or here. A grave I had never seen before. And I wouldn't know because I've seen them all. It had a strange writing on it, unlike any language I had ever seen before. Was it code? But why would someone have coding on their grave? There was something weird about it. And the closer I got to it to inspect it, I began to feel nauseous. It was just like at the church, at the funeral. It made me feel dizzy. Just a little bit. It was as if a strange pressure was emanating from it. Was still the best word I could use to describe it. Just pressure. I really didn't want to get sick again, but this headstone, it was so curious. It had to be related to all of this. It had to be. I wanted to inspect it more, but by that point I had been out all day. I knew the cemetery would be closing soon, and I couldn't stay for long. Not to mention I was very tired. I had been running around all day and it was finally starting to catch up to me. This weird headstone started to make me feel dizzy again, didn't help any either. And I decided that I would head home and try to make sense of it all tomorrow. After all, it's not like a grave would be going anywhere. So I packed up and headed home. It would probably do me good to get some rest. My head was spinning with so many strange concepts after all. And I followed my usual route home. The one I always follow when I get home. And, well, you already know what comes next. I know I usually try to ask you things, but I had a long day, so I'll probably go to bed soon. Besides, it isn't like you'll just suddenly decide to open up about anything, right? I'm afraid not. Heh, that's what I figured. I forgot to mention the phone number guy, or person, because we don't know. We have no clue who this mysterious phone number person is, but Mary's been texting them every night, and apparently they have our parents. So they say. We don't know how true this is because we've not been able to find any clues about that either. This is like one of the biggest mysteries in this game. Is just who the hell is mystery phone person, and do they actually have our parents? If I could ask anyways, just really quickly. Yes? They're still okay, right? Let's just ask if they're okay, because I don't think we have to make any specific questions here, right? Nope, okay. This doesn't affect the run, so we'll just ask, are they okay? Yes. Your parents are still okay. Would you tell me if they weren't? Good night, Mary. And just as quickly as he answers, he goes away. The following morning, I had been digging through the fireplace. I had hoped that, well, maybe the manga I burned by accident could help me provide me some more insight. Even if it was set on fire, there was still a chance that there'd at least be some salvageable parts, right? Please, just something. I'll take anything. It's worthless. It's all burned up. Even when I try to pick up a tiny scrap that could be something, it just turns to ash in my hands. I guess I won't be getting any more use from that book. Just then, Croven stepped in. He was about to walk past me before I called out to him. Croven! Yeah? Where are you going? I'm going out. That isn't exactly an answer. It is. Is it important again? Yeah. Who wants to know? Sorry, I just wanted to ask if you might help me with this. Since you're going out anyways, maybe when I get home. This is something I have to do by myself. When will you be home? Later. Croven walked out of the door shortly after that. He didn't tell me where he was going, and I was about to leave the house myself, but if I go out now, it might look like I was following him again, or something. I didn't want to upset him. I figured I'd just stay here and play with the soot a while, but then my phone went off. I checked the notification, and it was a message from Reginald. Talk about perfect timing. Mary, quite contrary. That does not look as cool as it did in my head. My sincerest apologies. I'm sorry, I wanted to ask, are you not here today? Huh? Am I not where? In the cemetery, of course. It is a bit cloudy today, but I figured you might want to be here before any rain started. Oh, you're there right now? Indeed I am. No real reason for it. I was just passing by. Though I might see you if I stopped in. Thought I might see you if I stopped in, though I suppose not today. That's okay. Well, actually, I was going to head into town pretty soon and visit the cemetery myself. I wanted to check on some things there, that's all. There's been a lot of stuff happening that I'm trying to organize. Oh? I'll just wait for you here then. What? Don't be silly. Even if I leave right now, it'll still be a while before I actually make it there. I don't mind waiting. I mean, are you sure? Don't you have something better to do? Oh, that sounds really rude over text. I'm sorry. Haha, no worries. I think I'll still be here a while. Maybe I'll be here when you come on down. I guess we'll see. Well, alright then. I'll leave in a few. Guess I'll maybe see you there? I guess you maybe will. I tidied myself up and made sure I had everything. And then walked out from the cabin waiting for the next bus into town. And I wondered on my way there if Reginald really would still be waiting for me once I'd made it. I mean, I suppose I had no reason to doubt it. I just don't understand why he would want to wait for me. Sure, there are better ways he could spend his time, especially if he's got an off day today. But maybe if he's free, maybe he'd be willing to help me figure this out. The bus skidded to a stop at its usual station. I hopped off and walked into the direction of the cemetery. And before I knew it, I was walking past the familiar metal bars that led up to the cemetery gates. And as I looked past them into the cemetery, I noticed a familiar man with his long caramel hair coming out to greet me. Whoa, you're actually still here? Indeed I am. I told you I'd wait for you, didn't I? I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I'm just a bit surprised you're actually still here. I mean, I know I find the cemetery exciting, but I don't think many others share that same sentiment. Weren't you bored out here by yourself? Not at all. In fact, I think I've grown even fonder of it. Really? If I'm being completely honest, well, I think I've been visiting it more because of you. Huh? It's hard to explain. But even when you're not here, it still feels like you are in a way. Like all that care you put into it, It really shows. Nah, but don't take that wrong way. Even if the cemetery always gave off your vibe, even if the cemetery always gave off your vibe, I think I would much prefer the real deal. I simply like being reminded of you here. You like the cemetery because it reminds you of me? Indeed so. Indeedly so. That word is still every time. Indeedly. I'm not even sure that's an actual word. I hope that isn't a strange thing to say. No. It's really nice, actually. Indeedly. Mary? I heard a familiar voice shout my name. They did not sound happy. That's just not a word, you think? Me neither. It doesn't sound like it. But I mean, it's like one of those times where you say the word and it kind of sounds like a word, but at the same time, grammatically speaking, it's not a word. Like when you typed it, it got the red bar under it. We've confirmed it. Not a word. I turned around to be greeted by Twyla? But it sounds like a word? It does. It really does. It sounds like one. It isn't, though. Let me drink a little bit of something so that I can keep my throat from perishing. That lemonade is a little too sweet. And sour. Like, I don't know how you can make something sweet and sour like that. Twyla? I hadn't heard from her in a while. Yet despite I keep flip-flopping between reading like the normal like narration in my normal voice and in Mary's voice. In the voice I make for her. Yet despite this, she looked like she was fuming. Is this the reason why you fucking been ignoring me? Ignoring you? I sent you at least 4 messages this past week asking you to help me. Including this morning. Not one response back. Did you? I'm really sorry, but can it? As if I've ever heard that excuse before. As if I've never heard that excuse before. I wasn't sure what to say. I didn't know what was going on. You know what, Mary? Fuck off. Here I thought you actually wanted to help me. Twyla is definitely mean. She is. She's a bitch. The only reason I have an inkling of liking her is because she's based off of an owl, and I like owl gals. Design-wise, I just wanna grab their head. Just wanna grasp. See multiple F-bombs only from her so far. Here I thought you actually wanted to help me. But I guess I shouldn't expect to rely on anyone in this piece of shit city. Huh? What are you talking about? Shut up. Stop playing dumb. I think we're supposed to say, please don't yell. Let me see. Yeah, please don't yell. Please don't yell. Why? Are you gonna cry about it? Try to get me to pity you because you're sad? This may come as a shock to you, but I don't give a shit about your feelings. Especially not at this point. If you're gonna blow off helping someone just to play around with some boy toy, then at least be honest about it. What? Despite how I may appear, I'm not a mean person, Mary. But if there's one thing I hate more than anything else, it's being disrespected. God, I just really, really hate flimsy, airheaded idiots like you. Here's hoping your precious little cemetery grows enough to fill the space in that empty head of yours. Not a bad thing, just she is the only to curse in the time you have been here. Or the only one, yeah. This is like her pop-off point in this run. In the other run, when you do her path, she's more chill. Kinda. She's just like very, like, what's the term for it? There's an anime term for the kind of character type, but I've kind of forgot about it. She makes herself very stoic but mean. So she's kind of bitchy. She's got like a low level bitchiness to her, and then in this situation she just pops off because I don't know, she got issues. I ran off after that. I didn't know what else to do. Reginald called out after me, but I just kept running. I didn't want him to see me like this, and I was so embarrassed. I wasn't even sure where I was going. Just anywhere from here. I couldn't stand there a second longer. So I'd run until it seemed like it was far enough away. Eventually, I turned into a small alley. I tucked myself behind a trash can so that no one could see me. And I just kept crying there. The things Twyla said. I never even got any messages from her. I had no idea what she was talking about. But she wouldn't listen. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe it is my fault. I told her I would help her, and yet I never even reached out to her. Maybe she's right. What have I done? What have I been doing this whole time? I started getting so wrapped up in all this other stuff that before I could think about it much longer, I heard my phone going off. Reginald is calling. I wonder if that stuff on the walls is another message, by the way, because I know I think it's supposed to be. And I didn't pick up. The second it stopped ringing, I received a text message from him. Are you alright? Where did you run off to? When Mary runs into the alleyway, you need Reginald to show up with an umbrella. There are multiple answer choices that can accomplish this, but one way is by telling Reginald that it is your fault, but asking him to... Okay, to accomplish this... Okay. Actually, what was the thing? I need to look at the guide again. I just finished reading through it. And once again, forgot immediately after I clicked off. I forgot what I just read. There are multiple answer choices that can accomplish this, but one way is by telling Reginald that it is your fault, but asking him to not talk to Twyla about it. Okay. We need to get him to come over here. I think I did that normally. It doesn't matter. What are you talking about? Of course it matters. Please tell me where you went. Is it my fault that she got mad at you? No. It's not about you. It was my fault. It doesn't seem it doesn't seem to be that way from the way she was talking. It sounded like I was an issue too. Please don't worry about it. I am worried. Regardless of what the situation was, I don't see any good reason for Twyla to yell at you like that. It's my fault. I'm the one who didn't follow through on things I said I would. I can't blame her for getting upset with me. Even if that's how you feel, I still don't believe her response was warranted. I can't help but feel bad about it, though. I feel like I've just been wasting so much time. And now I feel just even more guilty about it. Maybe she was right to call me out like that. Maybe she wouldn't have if I wasn't such a big screw-up. Mary, you're not a screw-up. Even if you felt she was right, that still doesn't make her delivery of it any better. Do you really think you deserve to be crying right now? Over a simple mistake or misunderstanding? I don't know. That's not how you communicate with people. I'm sure whatever the fuss is about, it shouldn't be making you feel like this. Do you want me to talk to her about it? Please don't. No, it's fine. That might just make her more upset. Please, let's just forget it ever happened. If you're sure that's what you want. Well, if you don't want me to talk with her, do you at least want this umbrella? Huh? Reginald? Hello, hello, hello again. What are you doing here? Well, you ran off, and it's supposed to rain soon. I was worried you might get sick being caught in the rain with no cover, so I brought this. Were you always hiding that? Aha. Does it really matter? Come now, let's go. If it's going to rain, well, I think that's more than enough waterworks for today. Don't you agree? Reginald let me out of the alleyway and helped me find my way to a bus stop. He said he would have liked to spend more time with me, but it looked like it might get stormy soon, and he wanted to make sure I got home safe. And I thanked him and told him I hoped we would hang out again soon. He agreed. You haven't left yet, right? Hello? Are you still there? I'm here. Sorry. You responded a bit late. Caught in the rain? Ha. No, not close enough for that. We always talk about me. How was your day? Could have been better. In that case, you should sleep. It's the fastest way to get the day finally be over with. I guess so. Good night, Mary. I woke up feeling a lot better the next morning. The things Twyla said about me still ished at me, but I tried not to think about it too much. There was only so much I could be doing. Right? And I just tried to not think about anything right now. And I just wanted to enjoy my breakfast first. Checking my phone and thinking about what I do that day. I never got the chance to try and inspect that grave the other day like I planned. Maybe I'll do that. I received a text message. It was Reginald again. Good morning, Mary. I hope you're feeling better today. I mean, I guess, right? We can always just be like, yeah, fucking great, I guess. Just be like, well, that's good to hear then. Say, I'm not too busy either. Dropping by to a sec to say hi? Well, hello to you, Scratch. I hope you're doing okay these lovely, lovely days. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, you hear? I'm not busy today either. If you've still got those errands you need to do, I can help today. I don't know. Do you really want to? Yeah. You've helped me with my errands before. I think it'll be fun. Alright. I'm just finishing breakfast, but I guess you can meet me at the cemetery again if you really want to. Sounds good. I'll see you there. I made plans to meet with Reginald at the cemetery. Again. I didn't feel all that confident as I left, but, well, whatever. Whatever. It's not like what happened yesterday would happen all over again, right? So I went. And I did it, and I say it was like I was having deja vu, but I did experience this scene before. There you are. Yep, here we are again. Are you alright? You seem nervous. Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm gonna keep moving forward. Besides, once we start looking around, I'll be too focused to worry. Hey, speaking of, do you know, like, other languages? Why do you ask? Follow me, I'll show you. It's what I've been busy with. I led Reginald through the cemetery, winding my way back to where I found that mysterious cave, or grave. I brought him over to the tree, to that area, right near the edge of the fence. But... Huh? Oh, dear me. How upsetting. What happened? I don't understand. Perhaps it was lightning? We did have that storm the other night. That can't be. I never heard any thunder or anything like that. Mary. I dug to the side of the grave. It couldn't really be broken. It couldn't. Oh, you poor soul. I'll fix this for you. Somehow. I didn't even know their name. You didn't know his name? I thought you knew the names of everyone in this place. I do. It's just that this headstone, the language that was on it, I couldn't understand it. And I think whoever it was might have been trying to tell me something. Mary. I'm sorry, but... Well, it's just... That seems a little silly, doesn't it? Especially if they had to die before they could send that message to you. But it wasn't just this. There's more to it. There was also... Come with me. Mary. I grabbed Reginald's hand and began to hurry to the library. It felt as if I couldn't run fast enough, especially with how he kept trying to slow me down. What's all this about? And I'll explain more once we get there. He kept following me and I kept leading. I had to show him what I was talking about so he could understand how big of a problem this was. We entered the library and I quickly but quietly guided him over to the manga section. But... Huh? Mary? Is everything quite alright? What did you want to show me over here? Stupid. Ah, why am I always such an idiot? Reginald began to coyly look at his phone while I berated myself in front of the empty shelf. How could I have been so careless? I should have checked out all the books for safekeeping. And now every one of them was gone. They could be in a garbage truck or being shipped somewhere else. Maybe somewhere far, far away right now for all I know. Stupid. So stupid of me. Mary? Huh? I've got to go. Huh? You're leaving? I thought you were going to help me today. Yes, but well, there's something I have to attend to. Huh? But you said you weren't going to be busy today. Right? I know, but something came up and, well... Are you alright? Why are you looking at me like that? Looking at you like what? Like you think I'm weird. What? You know I don't think that. You think I'm crazy. You think I'm just a creepy ghost girl, right? The ghost girl at the cemetery who talks to herself because she's crazy. That's what you're thinking, right? Mary, I promise I'm not. No, it's fine. I also have somewhere else that I've got to be. I've got to go. Mary, please don't do this again. I promise I'm not. I was out the door before he could finish. Though I was sure it wouldn't have been long before a librarian shushed him anyways. I skipped all the silly stuff this time. No alleys, no losing track of where I've been. I just hopped on the first bus back home. I heard my phone buzz all the way back. But I didn't look at it. I couldn't. I knew Reginald was going to try and be nice about things, because that's just the way he is. But I just couldn't look right now. I didn't want to look at anyone. I didn't want to be around anymore. Too bad I was just stuck with myself. I filled the rest of my day with distractions, allowing it to just pass me by. I didn't want to think about it. I dust, I dust until my arms hurt, and I'd prepared dinners hours in advance. Because if my mind was preoccupied, I wouldn't have to listen to myself think. So I filled up the rest of the hours with any distraction I could find. And then, one last distraction before bed. Why me? I'm having trouble understanding what you mean. Why do bad things always happen to me? What happened? Is that really a question right now? No. What happened today then? A lot. Everything just keeps falling apart. Why am I even trying? Don't worry. That's all going to change soon. I promise. Good night, Mary. Promises like that, made by a stranger over the phone. It most definitely will lead to nothing good. I didn't sleep well that night. And everything just started to feel bad. Was it all just in my head? Am I just losing my mind? What am I even doing? It's not like anything I do will help Mom and Dad come back. So, what's the point? Why am I trying so hard? I woke up in the morning and followed my routine after washing up and putting on some fresh clothes. I picked up my phone. The second I did, it was perfect timing, apparently. It buzzed in my hand the second I held it. A text message from Reginald. Good morning, Mary. I don't know when you'll be awake, but I wanted to apologize for the other day. When I said I had to leave, it wasn't to get out of spending time with you or anything like that. I promise. But it was rude of me to do that. I promised to spend the day with you, didn't I? It was wrong of me to have left. Reginald. What answer are we supposed to go at him with? Ask Reginald if he thinks you're weird. Do you think I'm weird? No, not at all. Not even a little bit? Absolutely not. I think you're very passionate, actually. And I admire you greatly for it. Really? Absolutely. Thank you. Reginald, you know, I'm not mad at that you had to leave. I just panicked. I don't know why. You may not be mad, but I am. At myself, that is. Not at you. Of course not. I'd never be mad at you. Anyways, I wanted to apologize for yesterday. I never meant to make you feel bad. I still feel awful about it. That's why I wanted to make it up to you. Oh, you don't have to do that. I want to. And I think it'll help me feel better too, if I do. Will you be free tonight? Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, not like I ever really have plans anyways. Lovely. Come to dinner with me, won't you? I'll pay and everything. My treat. No, Reginald, it's really not necessary. Please. It'll make me feel a lot better. And you can tell me all about all the stuff from yesterday that I never gave you the chance to explain. Well, if you're sure. Of course I am. Where should we go then? Oh, I know just a place. Reginald told me about a place he thought I'd I would really enjoy. I admit I had never heard of it, but I was willing to try anything, I suppose. Though I always felt a little bad whenever I go out to eat somewhere. It always feels like I'm cheating on dinner in a way. Well, time passed, and I did my usual things. Cleaned a bit, walked around the cemetery, but it was hard to do anything of importance. And I was so preoccupied thinking of going out to eat tonight. It almost made me wish I could make time pass just a little bit quicker. And then evening began to roll around. So I made my way to where Reginald said the place was located. And I was still feeling a little lost until I saw him standing outside. This wasn't the place I remember him saying he'd be at. Or is it? Well, I mean, it must be if he's standing here, right? He looks like he's on his phone, but that's probably just because he was passing the time waiting for me. Then, seeing as I was already a bit late as it is, I wasted no time in going to greet him. Reginald! Woohoo! I walked over to him, and then made my way over. I saw him jump a bit at my yell, and then he met me halfway. Mary? What are you doing here? What do you mean? You told me to meet you here, right? Yes, that's right, but... I mean, they might be too full for us, actually. I was actually about to text you and see if you wanted to go someplace else. I didn't want to keep you waiting. Oh? But we're already here. I don't mind waiting, you know? And I feel bad if you have to drive us someplace new. Oh, but I'd absolutely hate to make you wait. Really, it isn't a big deal. Well, I suppose if you insist, we could try. Reginald held the door open for me. I thanked him, then walked inside. Although the place was pretty full, there actually wasn't any wait time for us. We were seated immediately. I figured as much. There was only 2 of us after all. We sat at a table in the middle of the dining room. Funnily enough, as I took my seat, I began to wonder, what kind of food do they serve here anyways? Thanks for inviting me here. It was really sweet of you. I really appreciate it. And of course, it was the least I could do. You know, it's kind of nice being able to eat out at other places. I'm so used to my mom's stuff. Ah, that's right. You lived at that diner by the cemetery, yes? Yeah. There was never really any need to go out to eat. I always just used to eat at the diner because it was so convenient, you know? And it's not like we ever ran out of food. So... Okay, let's see. What answer should we give now? Okay, reading the manual real quick. When Reginald contacts you... Okay, that's the library. Okay, during the restaurant scene, tell Reginald you've always lived here. Okay. Anything you recommend? Or how has your day been? Widely uninteresting. But maybe that's because I was just waiting around to be able to see you tonight. Really? There wasn't anything else in your day? I feel sorry then. Why do you say that? Well, it's not like seeing me is a lot to look forward to. Besides, we seem to see each other pretty often now, too. I suppose that's true. But nevertheless, I'm excited to see you whenever I'm able to. Aw, shucks. I mean, I'm happy when I get to see you too, so... Anyways, and I've been meaning to ask you for a while, but couldn't find the right time. How long have you lived here, anyways? In our city, I mean. What answer do we give? What was it? I've always lived here? Okay, I've always lived here is the answer. I've always lived here. In that little diner of yours, right? Yeah, and it's been around as long as I have. And it always next to the that cemetery too? Yeah. Mom and Dad always used to tell me it was good for business. Well, I suppose that's true. It was the first place I stopped after my first funeral in that cemetery. And that's where I met you for the first time. Oh, that's right. Have you lived here long? Well, I haven't spent my whole life here. But I would say that I've lived here longer than anywhere else. Isn't that so funny, though? That we've both lived here for a while, and we only met like a month or two ago? Yes, that is quite funny, isn't it? Who would have guessed that one day we'd be sitting in this restaurant together? Hey, speaking of that, is anyone going to come bring us a menu? I know it's a bit busy in here, but... Yes, I'm sure someone will come soon. Oh? Suddenly, it was as if Reginald's whole demeanor changed. I didn't know how to explain it, but he seemed more clammy and nervous. Let me look at the guide again. Okay. Is it always so packed in here? Why don't you tell me more about work? Do you know what you're going to order? Why don't you tell me more about work? It's fine. Same old, same old. I see. Are you okay? Yes, of course. Why wouldn't I be? Sorry. Actually, I'm sorry. Would you excuse me for a moment? I'll be very quick, I promise. I just need to step outside for a moment. Yeah, of course, go ahead. Thank you. Reginald got up in a hurry and made his way towards the front. Why was he acting like this all of a sudden? Maybe he needed a smoke. I know a few people that get a bit angsty when they hadn't had a cigarette in a while. Like Croven, for example, but Reginald never seemed like a smoker to me. It's been a while. Or has it been? Maybe I'm just overthinking how much time has passed since I'm sitting here by myself. People are starting to stare. They look away quickly, but I can see them. It's fine. Nothing I'm not used to. Where is Reginald, though? And I was going to talk to him about the stuff I found, but no, it's fine. He's probably not interested in that stuff anyways. But I'm concerned about what's taking him so long. Unless maybe he... Would he? Maybe I should leave. I was about to collect my things and stand up out of my chair when I whipped my head around and see what caused that noise. As did everyone else. In that 1 second, there was already a crowd of people forming around one booth. And I joined them. And I couldn't see what the matter was until a few people moved in just the right way to let me in. Though maybe it was better if they didn't. A man was lying on the floor, shattered wine glass and spilled wine beside him. He had a familiar-looking liquid dripping out his mouth. It definitely wasn't wine. What happened? Is he okay? He's fine, he's okay. He just drank too much, that's all. But what about that black stuff? Huh? Black stuff? Where? Who said that? Did he get a bruise? I couldn't see it. Couldn't they see it? Leaking out of his mouth? People continued to cause a commotion, and I could hear the staff and the woman he was sitting with try to explain to everyone what happened. That he must have drank too much and they shouldn't panic. But how could that possibly be the case? Was this the killer too? Were they here? Were they still here? Reginald went outside and didn't come back in. Did something happen to him? Did someone get to him? Is he in trouble? All that time I was sitting and waiting for him. What if he was in danger? What if something happened to him? Why didn't I check on him sooner? I have to go out there. I have to make sure he's okay. I have to make sure that... Reginald! Hello? I sighed in relief. Reginald just looked at me confused. And I put myself back together before speaking to him again. Reginald, you're here after all. Yes. I apologize for leaving you earlier. I had to take an important call and, well... No, it's fine. I'm just happy you're okay. Uh-huh. Why wouldn't I be? Well... Someone inside... They, collapsed. What? I don't know. I didn't see it happen, but they just... fell on the floor, I guess. And they're trying to say he just drank too much, but... It doesn't look that way to me. Why didn't you tell me earlier? We should leave because that's... I'm so sorry. No, don't be sorry. It's alright. Reginald grabbed me by the hand and led me to his car. It was parked out in the sidewalk, a bit off a ways away, so he didn't want to lose me in the dark. Especially not after what had just transpired. As we pulled away from the sidewalk, I could hear the sirens of an ambulance from behind us. And as I looked into the rear view mirror, I could see their flashing lights as they pulled into the restaurant parking lot. Reginald said he wanted to take me home. And after what happened there, he said he wouldn't really feel all that comfortable eating at anywhere else nearby. And, well, it's not like I could blame him. He told me he could drop me off at my house, but I declined. And I told him to just drop me off at the bus stop. He didn't argue with me. He dropped me off at the bus stop. And I noticed as he parked across the street. I wasn't exactly sure why until I received a text message. Just want to make sure you get on safely. That was nice. The bus came, as it always does. I got on, and soon I was heading home once again. And I hoped everything would be okay. I really did. Even if some people believe that I hope for the opposite. Did you go out to eat tonight? What do you mean? Something happened at a restaurant near... Something has happened at a restaurant near me. Was it you? No. How can I be so sure I can trust that? I don't even know you. Have you made it your choice to trust me? I hate when you say things like that. I just want things to go back to normal. I hate that my parents are gone. I hate that everyone's dying around me. I hate that things just keep getting worse. When is it going to end? When are you going to give me my mom and dad back? Will I even be able to see them again at this point? And I'm sorry if I have given you the impression that I'm trying to make you miserable. I promise you that I'm not. And I promise it all has a reason. And I hope I can prove that to you. Soon. Good night, Mary. Good night. Thank you. Oh golly. She's not sleeping. She's not getting a wink of sleep. Yuki's gonna hate that they missed all this stuff. Still got a bit ways to go, but like I said, Yuki wanted to be here to look at Reginald, see what's going on with Reggie boy. I can't sleep tonight. What time is it anyways? I don't know what else to do. It's so late and everything's so... And all I want to do is sleep. But every time I do, it feels like I'm just waking up half an hour later. What should I do? What should we do? Okay. Let's see here. I guess call Reginald. Call Reginald. I can't call Reginald. It's so late. There's no doubt he's in bed right now. Besides, if he has to go to work early the next morning, I'd feel terrible waking him up over something silly. Go to bed, then. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'll just shut my eyes again and try to go back to sleep. And hopefully, the next time I wake up, it'll actually be morning, and I'll actually feel rested. Huh? My phone had just gone off. Oh. Who was calling me so late? Reginald? Why is he calling at this hour? Is he alright? Should I answer it? Curious, I answered the phone. But the call ended immediately as I did. That's strange. Should I call him back? I went to my recent calls and had attempted to call him back. I didn't realize until too late that I had accidentally video called him too. Reginald? Ah, Mary. I can see you? Yes, I can see you too. Sorry, I didn't mean to video call, but... Did you call me just now? Oh, did I? Many apologies. I must have dialed you by accident. I'm very sorry if I woke you up. No, it's okay. You didn't, actually. Why are you up so late? Who, me? Just some work-related things, that's all. Why are you up so late? I just can't seem to sleep tonight, that's all. Ah, I see. Seems like you and me both won't be getting much sleep. So, that's my night. But what about you? Are you feeling okay? Why do you ask? Well, you certainly look tired. Yeah, I guess. But I just can't sleep. Sorry, you said you were busy, right? I shouldn't distract you. Hey, no, don't say that. I'm glad to be talking to you at any time of the day. Why? Huh? I'm sorry, I'm just having trouble understanding. And every time we hang out together, it seems like something bad happens. And I just feel like... I don't know. You're still so nice to me. And I don't understand how you haven't gotten upset with me yet. Do people get upset with you a lot? Hey now, it's alright. And I just enjoy spending time with you. Truthfully, I am. Someone who doesn't have a lot of friends. And it's okay living like that for a while. But it gets very lonely. And then I was invited to that funeral. And then I had met you at the one I had met you at. And I was surprised I had even been invited. I think it was just a formality. But I went anyways. I'm not sure why. Something just told me that I should. And then I met you. Honestly, I was surprised you even remembered me when we met back at the library. Of course I remember you. We talked quite a bit that day. If I think about it, I can still remember it well. It was a particularly cold day, despite it being summer. But the funeral was still held outside. It's how I was able to attend, after all. You stood right next to me. I noticed your red hair. I had never seen anyone with hair like yours before. Really? Never in my life. We didn't talk much during the service. But, well, of course we wouldn't have. And afterwards, you and the group you were with had decided to eat at my family's diner. And I didn't even know it belonged to you back then. But even still, I had sat at the corner by myself for a few minutes. But rather than sit with the group of your with the rest of your group, you instead chose to come sit at the counter with me. Why did you do that? I don't know. It just felt like the right thing to do at the time. You just interested me. Yeah. I've been told I'm interesting before. You know something? I feel more comfortable sitting next to you than anyone else there. Why's that? I don't know. I guess it just felt like you were someone like me. Someone alone. Besides, I had figured that I might not see you again after that day, so I didn't want to let it pass me by. But I guess I was silly to worry. Honestly, I'm surprised that you even remembered me. And I feel like, well, when I talk to people at the funerals I find myself in, I feel I don't really see them often, if ever again. Maybe when they're visiting their loved ones again, but, well, I don't know. I don't feel like anyone remembers me. They may remember that someone odd was there during that time, but I never know how much they really remember about me. Well, to me, I think it'd be impossible to ever forget about you. I unintentionally yawned pretty loudly right then. I'm so sorry. Don't be. Like we discussed, it's late. And I'd hate to keep you up. But, well, before we hang up, would you like to do something soon? Like what? I don't know. But I think you could really use something to brighten things up. Will you meet me by your old diner tomorrow morning? I've had an idea that I think will be even better than anything we've attempted before. Plus, I'd really like to see you again. Yeah, I think I'd like that too. Wonderful. But we can discuss the details of that more tomorrow. Good night, Mary. Good night, Reggie. Reggie? I'm so sorry. That just slipped out of me. I don't know where that came from. Keep it for me. I like the sound of it. Well, if you're sure. Well, here's Reggie. Signing off. And after that, I laid back down onto my bed. It felt much cozier all of a sudden. So much easier to just drift off to sleep. Sleepy, sleepy Mary. Mary is very eepy. Poor gal. I was up and awake early the morning. A bit earlier than even I had anticipated. I was unsure if it was because I just had so much difficulty staying asleep that night, or because I was now feeling excited to see what it was that Reggie had planned. Regardless, I made my trip to the front of the diner as Reggie had instructed me to do, and it still felt weird to see the place so empty. But I wasn't going to think of all that stuff right now. Today was going to be a good day. Definitely. And I was going to get my mind off things. Before I knew it, Reggie pulled up in his old car. He was smiling and rolled down the windows to say, "Come on, get in." And then we were on our way. Thank you again, by the way. No need to thank me. I've been needing a, a de-stressor myself, you know. Sometimes life just doesn't... life goes ways you don't expect. And when that happens, it's nice to try and take a break. Yeah, you're right. Say, where are we going anyways? You still haven't told me. Well, if I tell you, that just might ruin the surprise. Why is it gotta be a surprise? Don't you like surprises? Do you? Well, no, not really. But still, I think it'll be better if it's just a surprise. Can I guess? If you want to. I bet you're taking me to a museum. Really? Yeah. You strike me as the type of person who would like them. Honestly, if I didn't already know what you did for a living, you kind of look like you might work at one. Well, I do appreciate artifacts. Good guess. So, I got it right? No. I just think your guesses also sound like a pleasant idea. Maybe we'll plan a day for that too. Where else can we go though? We're driving pretty far out. And I don't think I've ever been down these roads before. Where are we headed anyways? Well, I will admit it's somewhere a bit out of town. But I thought that might be a good thing too. And everything back home has been very hectic, hasn't it? And I think it's nice to forget that place exists sometimes. Do you not like living there? Well, it's hard to describe. Of all the places I could choose, I'm not exactly sure if this would be my first choice. But you're still living there? That's true. But, well, let's just say there's many other exciting places I could be. Really? I never took you as the type to look for excitement. Not in a bad way. I just mean that, like, I don't know. You seem to enjoy the smaller things in life, like going out to the library or getting coffee. No offense taken. I understand where you get the idea from. But life like this seems a bit too monotonous. Don't you ever feel like that? I guess so. I don't know. Things haven't really been all that monotonous in my life as of recently. Fair point. Hey, we're almost there. Really? Just a few more blocks and... When we arrived, I couldn't believe it. He had taken me to... an aquarium? Really? And I couldn't think of anything more calming than watching the fish swim along. Do you like it? Like it? I love it. What are you standing there waiting around for? Come on, let's go. I grabbed Reggie by the hand and dragged him inside after me. You're sure someone like you could enjoy seeing fish swim? I would. I've been to aquariums and they're very nice. Little guys just going, and then sometimes, if you're lucky, you might go to an aquarium that has bigger guys, and those bigger guys are also just swimming around. I haven't been to an aquarium in a long while, though. I'll admit. But hail to thee, noob nerd. I hope you're doing quite fine this lovely day, doing noob nerd things. My throat is hurting from having to do that girl's voice. You like to see the manatees fart at the aquarium? That seems like something you would like. You would be the type. Oh goodness. I need to put some caffeine in me soon. What time is it anyways? I haven't checked in a bit. Oh, it's that time. Okay, we're still 2 hours out till stream ends. An aquarium. I was so excited. How did he know I always wanted to go? Penguin. Penguins! I haven't been to one of these in so long. And I didn't know they had I'm messing up my reading, fuck. I didn't know they had outside animals now too. Indeed they do. I think it's quite nice being able to see them up close like this. They're so cute. What kind of penguins are these anyways? Oh my. That's not a very nice name at all. Maybe they've done something to deserve it. Glasses guy in glasses is evil, calling it. He's a murderer, but he's nice to us. So, we're chill. You can already tell this game is gonna go fucking dark by the end of the second act. We're trying to do the good end with this guy this time around. The bad end, he murders us. So, you know, trying to avoid that. No way! I refuse to believe something so cute could do something so bad. Oh, I don't know about that. Oh my goodness, look at this! This cape is just the cutest. I will say, it seems very fitting for you. You think so? Why do gift shops have to be so expensive? Do you want it? Huh? I don't mind paying if you really want it that badly. No. I'll think about it. And I have my own money anyways. If you're sure. Look at all the jellies! Jellies? Yeah. What else would you call them? Fair point. They're so pretty. You know something? Despite their elegant appearance, I hear they're not very bright. That's pretty silly, I think. I'm sure they're smart in their own way. Well, I guess they'd have to be able to survive with the rest of us, huh? You know, when I'm running around, I always forget how nice it is to just sit down. That is, until I'm actually doing it. I can't remember the last time I walked this much. I know I can. Now that we've got a bit to sit, what's been your favorite part so far? My favorite? Well, I think that's a really hard decision. I like everything. Though I guess I really liked seeing pufferfish. Pufferfish are silly. Really? And even though I didn't want to see it scared, it was fascinating watching it puff up so. I mean, I know that's what they do, but I'd never seen it in action before. And I can see how you'd find it interesting. Though I do admit I feel bad for the little ones, stretching out like that. And it's a painful process, you know? Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. Poor guys. Some people own pufferfish, right? That must be nice, you know? They probably don't get too stressed like that. If I had a pufferfish, I'd make sure it always felt safe. Is that so? I'm sure any pufferfish would be lucky to have you. How about you? What's been your favorite part? Truthfully, well, I think I just enjoy spending time with you the most. Hey, you can't just say that. Now I feel like a jerk for my answer. Don't. I just appreciate the company, that's all. Thank you again for bringing me. I'm having a really nice time. I can't remember the last time I had a day as nice as this. Thank you for coming. I'd go by myself, but where's the fun in that? I mean, I understand the value in time alone, and honestly, I think I appreciate it more than most people. But always being on your own gets lonely too. It makes you go a little crazy, you know? Makes me glad I met you too. And I appreciate being able to share experiences like this with you. Yeah, I understand. Though I'm kind of the opposite. I don't think I really like being alone all that much. And I think loneliness is miserable. You don't enjoy being by yourself? Even every now and again? Honestly? Not really. But you're always at the cemetery, aren't you? Forgive me, but I can't imagine one would make many friends there. I like to think of them as being my friends, you know? I mean, I'm giving them flowers all the time. Somebody in there's gotta appreciate it, right? Do they? Let me look at the guide. When Reginald, blah blah blah, say not better than nothing. Okay. I hope they do. I'm sure they do. I mean, I know I would. Would you? Yeah, I would. To know that someone's caring even if they don't know me, that's a nice thought, isn't it? That someone you don't even know cares about you? I suppose it is. But doesn't it mean even more when somebody does know you? Yeah, I think it does. I mean, I think anyone who would choose spending time with a friend over spending time with a stranger. Well, would you? Me? I'd spend time with a friend. Though, it feels like I'm lying when I say that. How so? Well, I don't have many friends, if any. Even the friend I do have, I knew him since childhood. So, does it count? Would he still be my friend if we had ever grown up together? If we had never grown up together? If the first time he met me was on the street or in a public place, would he even be my friend? Or just someone passing by? Still though, I enjoy the feeling of the few friends I do have, regardless of how we became friends. And I mean, you're my friend, right? Because I'm really grateful for that. Because, well, making friends hasn't always been an easy thing for me to, for me. And I was actually kind of shocked when you reached out to me, I guess. Why wouldn't I? You were always so pleasant to me when we spoke. Well, but maybe, but no one ever, follows up with me. I was just a strange girl they met at a funeral once. We spoke about this, didn't we? I only really meet people through funerals. And, well, I can understand why I don't see them again after that. Who would want to be friends with that creepy girl who hangs out in the cemetery all day? All she does is stand there and talk to herself. I've got a nickname, you know. I've heard them say it. Cemetery Mary. And that's what they call me. At least, I think... At least it's what the people who remember me call me. Do you like it? Yeah, I guess. It's better than nothing. It's something. It means they remember me, you know? And I don't know if it's necessarily the best name. It makes me sound like a makes it sound like a roll-up mine. And that's Mary, and she's part of the cemetery. And is that all I am? If I'm being honest, I like the name. You do? Yes. And I think it sets you apart from the rest. You're not just any Mary, you know? You've got a title. And to share a name with something you love so much. Isn't that nice? Yeah. I guess I've never thought about it that way. It sounds nicer like that. I mean, I guess I can't deny how much time I spent there. Can I ask you something? About the cemetery. Yeah, of course. Well, maybe it's not really the cemetery itself, but the funerals. You seem to be awfully good at finding your way into them. So much so that it feels like that it feels as though many don't get upset with you. And it's quite remarkable, really. But I suppose my question is, why? Why? Yes. What is it about them that makes you want to attend? Honestly, I think they're sweet. The idea behind them, at least. It's tragic to lose a friend. Of course. And I've felt that loss more times than I like to think about. And I felt it pretty recently. And it's terrible. But there's something wonderful in the process, I think. Have you ever seen so many people get together in one place? People always call out for things. Oh, people always call for things. They can't make it to your birthday. They can't be there for the holidays. But everyone comes to a funeral. And you know why? Because they love that person. Whether they were their best friend or they hardly knew them, they still come. Because they impacted them enough to come. They meant enough to them during their life that they came to say goodbye. The more people there are, the more you know how loved they were. Can you imagine that? Being loved so much? Having so much of an impact on someone else that so many people come to your funeral? Because they'll miss you? And because they love you? I see. And that's why I like to go. Because you can feel it. And I can feel how much people loved the deceased. It's heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time. And I've never thought about it like that. But I want to now. And that must be such a beautiful feeling to experience. And such a beautiful way to look at it. My throat hurts. My throat's feeling dry. 1 second. Now, I didn't think doing this was gonna be all that rough on my throat, but I guess it is a little bit more rough than I thought. Now I'm scared. And everyone has so many people who care about them. Even after they are dead, they will have a moment where they are suddenly surrounded by friends. And I don't have friends. No one's going to care. Mary, that isn't true. I know that I can't speak for other people, but I hope you know that I'd care. And I'd never forget you either. I don't want to sound like I'm crazy, but you've had more of an impact on me than anyone I've ever met before. I'm like you. I don't have many friends. And after meeting you, well, I think I realize how miserable it really is to live like that. I didn't realize how bad it was until I actually had someone I could call my friend. And to think that you think that if you were gone, you wouldn't be missed. That is unimaginable to me. I do not think I'm a very memorable person, but if it means anything, then I can promise you that you are unforgettable. And I'll always remember you. In this life, the next, and the one after that. And that's a promise. Let's see, I think we're supposed to call him our best friend, right? Ba, ba, ba. Yeah. You're my best friend. And I don't think anyone's ever been so nice to me. It's just because they like me so much. And I've never had a friend quite like you. It does help a bit. I don't like to think about it, but even if there's only a few people who'd remember me, or even just one person, it makes me happy knowing it'd be you. And of course. And I could never forget you. That was lovely. It's been a few days since then, and I felt a lot closer to Reggie ever since our day at the aquarium. Although he's been so busy with work, I haven't gotten to see him much of him since, but I don't feel lonely. He sends me texts all the time, so even if I'm alone, I don't quite feel alone. It's nice to be alone, but not lonely. Besides, I had a nice day by myself, actually. Sometimes it's nice to just return to the cemetery for a normal day after so much chaos. I made sure I put at least one flower on every grave today, but soon my head started to hurt again, and I felt very dizzy. And I looked for a small rest sitting down by myself. I told myself that I wouldn't let myself black out again, that I'd just sit for a few minutes and get back up and head home if I was feeling really bad. But that's not what happened, though. I truthfully didn't mean to fall asleep, I didn't. But when I sat back against the mausoleum we have, after being outside and on my feet all day, and having one of those familiar headaches, well, I was just so tired, and I didn't even realize I fell asleep. Until I woke up to the sound of rain. I was surprised to not have had any strange dreams this time, but this was a big problem. On the roof, only the roof trim of the mausoleum was keeping me safe from the rain. And it was pouring. And worse even still, it was night. The only light I could see was from the street lamps at the outside of the cemetery. Oh dear. How could I have slept for so long? Well, I couldn't stay hiding under here all night. Took a big breath and ran across the cemetery to the street. Luckily, the gate wasn't locked. Again, I was surprised but thankful, as it meant I would not have to find some other way out. Once I was out on the sidewalk, I noticed the street lights were the only lights on. Eventually, everything seemed close. How late was it? Didn't want to pull out my phone in the rain to check, but by any means, I had most definitely missed the last bus back home. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I had to find shelter first. I ran through the rain, trying to find anything that was open. It wasn't long before I felt my shoes filling with water. I'd get a cold out here, blah, blah, blah. I think this is just the same stuff to this. This is the cinema scene, right? But I knew there just something blah, blah, blah. I made it somewhere. It was the movie theater. Okay, let's just skip through this and then skip. Call Reginald. Right. Alright. Decided to call Reggie. I didn't want to bother him, but I really didn't think I had any other choice in this scenario. I heard the phone ring a few times and then he picked up. Mary? It's a bit late, isn't it? Is everything alright? Yeah. Well, actually, I kinda, missed my last bus home. And I was hoping maybe I could stay with you tonight instead? Yes, of course. Where are you now? I'll be right over. Thank you. And I told Reggie I was at the movie theater, and he said he'd be there in no time to come get me. I was really grateful to have a friend so as generous as he is, and I hoped I would one day be able to return the favor. I saw the faint outline of Reggie's old car pull up the side of the movie theater, and I went out to meet him. Even though it was raining, he still got out of the car and held the passenger door open for me. I told him it was silly to do that. I hope it wasn't too late. You caught me in the middle of getting ready for bed, actually, and I wanted to be rechanged. It didn't feel right to leave the home in pajamas. No, you're good. We drove off to Reggie's apartment amidst all the rain. Because it was so late, there was hardly any cars on the road, so it made the drive a bit safer. We pulled into a parking lot space next to the building, and he covered me with his jacket as we ran inside. Sorry, I wasn't thinking, and I should have brought an umbrella. I didn't mind. We stepped inside to the familiar buzzing of the fluorescent lights, and quite frankly, a pretty gross smell that still lingered from the last time I was here. Reggie didn't mention it, though, so I wasn't going to either. I didn't want to potentially embarrass him or anything like that. Reggie led me to the stairwell and we headed upstairs. I had forgotten how high up he lived. Once we were in the hallway, Reggie began to lead me to his apartment. Tried to be as quiet as we moved through the hallway, not wanting to disturb any of his neighbors. I noticed a few boxes and other junk outside of one of the doors. Was someone moving in? Lots of people have been moving out recently, he whispered to me. Not like I can blame them. Our landlady hasn't spoken to us in a while, and I think they might take her to court soon. I see. Then before I knew it, we were entering his front door. Well, here we are. I apologize for the mess. But I had the foresight that you were coming. Had I had the foresight that you were coming, I would have cleaned ahead of time. I looked around Reggie's apartment. Is this what he considers a mess? Nothing even looked dusty. Thank you for having me over. It's nice to be here again. And I can get such a better look at it this time now that I'm not all sick. Uh-huh. I suppose that's true. But don't worry about sleeping on the couch or anything. You can take my bedroom. It's right next to the kitchen. I'll sleep out here. Oh no, Red. I couldn't. You already drove out in the middle of the night to pick me up. I couldn't take your bed too. Nonsense, I insist. You'll have a much better sleep, I'm sure of it. But don't you have to go to work in the morning? I'd feel awful if you couldn't get a good night's sleep. Oh, don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Nothing I haven't done. Oh dear, I just realized. Huh? What? Is everything okay? You don't have any pajamas to wear, do you? Huh? Oh. Don't worry about that. I can sleep just fine in this. How can I not worry? No offense. But although your outfit is quite in the ensemble, I don't think it would make the very best for a very nice sleep. Why don't I go out and buy you some... words. Yawning in the middle of a sentence is not good. But you can read it yourself, right? Why don't I go out and buy you something really nice, really quick? No way! Thanks, it's really nice of you, but I can't accept that offer. It's so late and I doubt anywhere is open. Oh, when there's a will, there's a way. Besides, I need to pick up some things anyway. So please, make yourself at home. Help yourself to anything in the kitchen and don't be afraid to turn on the TV. I'll be back shortly. Before I could protest it anymore, Reggie was out the door, leaving me alone in his apartment. And I guess all I could do now was wait for him to get back. What should I do in the apartment then? I just watch TV. And the best thing I could probably do right now was just watch some TV and wait. And I plopped myself on his couch and turned on the TV. There were some commercials playing, so I didn't know what show was on yet. What's on at this hour anyways? Before I knew it, I heard the sound of a door unlocking and Reggie was walking through the front door. I watched as he locked the door behind him, dropped off the plastic bags he was carrying and shrugged off his coat. He left one bag in his room and then proceeded to put some stuff away in his kitchen. Then he came to sit next to me. So, what are you what are you watching? Oh, I don't know. Nothing in particular. Well, would you like to watch something? Or would you rather just head to bed? Now that I think about it, I can't remember the last time I actually watched something on TV. Reggie passed me the TV remote and told me to put on anything I'd like. He wasn't picky. Maybe we can watch... What does the manual say? Mystery, horror, or comedy. You know what? We've already done comedy once. How about horror? Let's see. Oh damn, that's kind of creepy actually. I flicked through a few channels until I found this one. There was a horror movie playing. I have mixed feelings about some horror movies, but there are ones that I like. Do I watch it? Yes. You know, I have to say, I'm a bit surprised. After getting to know you, I wouldn't take you as the kind to like these movies. I like some of them. I'm not really scared by them because I know it's all just actors and special effects. But I think some can have really cool ideas, so it's nice to see. I understand. I'm actually a bit of a fan of horror myself, you see. Really? Though I'm like you. They don't really scare me, but I like seeing what they try to do. Reggie and I sat and watched TV for a while. It was pretty nice, though eventually I started to feel tired. I think Reggie could tell too. I yawned and I stood up off the couch, thanking him once again for letting me use his room to sleep. It's not a problem at all. I left the pajamas in the bag for you. I think they should fit. Good night, Mary. Oh, and one last thing. If you need to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, I know this apartment can be a bit difficult to maneuver in the dark. There's a flashlight in my desk drawer if you need it. Just try not to shine it at me while I'm asleep on the couch. I thanked Reggie once more and wished him a good night as well. I do think it was a bit funny though. Does he not know my phone comes with its own flashlight if I need it? I guess not. I took a step into Reggie's room, closing the door softly behind me. I flicked on the light switch and it turned on a lamp at the other end of the room. It gave off a very faint light, making the room very dim. I'm sure it looked better in natural light, but right now it was a bit hard to see. Still, it looked as if Reggie didn't have very much in his room at all. I could see his bed and a nightstand, and a vanity too. Was this the desk he was talking about? Other than a built-in closet, there was nothing else I could really see in here. Though I guess when you have the whole apartment to yourself, you don't need to shove all your stuff into the bedroom. I reached down and gathered the pajamas he had bought for me. They were simple, standard pajamas, though they felt really soft. I'll have to remember to pay him back for these. I got changed and left my clothes on the end of the bed. Then I crawled into his bed. It felt and smelled really nice, really clean, as if it had been recently washed. Even though I felt cozy, I still felt a bit weird and bad about sleeping in Reggie's bed. But I guess it was too late now. It's okay. Now I'll just have to find some way to make it up to him. The way he always does for me. I laid back down and closed my eyes. Nothing left to do but sleep. I woke up to a throbbing headache. It was like I could feel my heart beating in my head. And each beat was another strange surge of pain. What time was it? Peering over the window, I could see it was still night. All I want to do is go back to sleep. Go back to bed. but I definitely can't sleep with a headache as strong as this. Does Reggie have medicine? He's gotta have some kind of painkillers, right? I don't want to steal medicine from him, but I'm sure he'll understand. There's just no way I can stay like this. It feels just like all this intense pressure building in my head. I have to do something. I pulled the string on the lamp next to the bed and lit it up. Still as dim as before. I went to go reach for my phone. My phone's not here? I could have sworn I put it here before I went to bed. I got up and checked my clothing. It wasn't anywhere there either. Maybe I left it on the coffee table outside? Whatever, I can look for it in the morning. Right now, I just needed to be able to see. I guess it's a good thing Reggie told me about that flashlight. I walked over to the shadowy outline of the vanity and leaned down, opening the drawers. It was still a bit hard to see what everything was, though. It had to be in here, though, right? Just grab something. And I reached in and tried to grab something. It didn't feel like a flashlight at all, but I couldn't help but grab it and try to make sense of it. It felt like a small, individual paper-like pieces. Holding them to the light, I tried to get a better look at them. This is me, right? Oh lordy. Or lordy, we've been, we're getting some, suspicious activity now. I don't remember ever getting, like, pictures. The last run, I was, playing this last run of Reggie, or whatever the hell. I feel like I would remember this, but I don't remember this happening. I don't understand. Why are there pictures of me in here? I don't remember any of these. I mean, it's not that bad, right? Mary, are you? Come on, Mary. Come on. You can't. I keep pictures of my friends all the time. Yeah, but they probably knew you were taking a picture of them, not like this. Yeah. And I put the pictures back. Grab something. I reached in and tried to grab something. It felt round, like a flashlight, but when I held it up to the light, I could see it wasn't that at all. It was some kind of container. I hadn't really seen one much like it before. Inside looked like strands of hair. Oh, Jesus. It was hard to see against the light, but it seemed like it was a familiar color to my hair. And this couldn't be my hair, right? Why does he have this? And I don't know if I want to keep holding it. I reached in and tried to grab something. It felt round like a flashlight, but when I held it up to the light, I could see it wasn't that at all. It was some kind of container. I hadn't really seen one much like this before. The inside was a bright pink liquid. It reminded me of a stomach medicine. Was it? I unscrewed the cap and took a whiff. It definitely didn't smell like medicine. Yeah, it smelled almost like maple syrup. What was this? What's it doing in here? I don't know if I want to keep holding it. I was feeling a little weird. All these things in this drawer. Why did he have these? When did he get them? My mind was running loops. I mean, why would he tell us to get a flashlight from in there if he knew this was in here? But I tried to keep my composure. This was Reggie. He was always so nice to me, so nice. You putting the pieces together, gal? I reached in one last time. The pain in my head only increased with each item I removed. And even though it was difficult to see, I could hardly believe my eyes. It was a plush. Oh, goodness. Huh. So it was literally... You know what? Now that I think about it, it does... He was the closest person nearby. It's like it makes sense that it was him, because he is the closest one nearby. He was at the cemetery at the time. He very much could have seen us, like, go in and just kind of dipped into the damn place and then run out. You have to look at that silhouette again. My plush. My favorite plush toy that was stolen right out of my room. The same day I caught that terrifying stranger. Oh, God. I felt like I was about to be sick. Reginald, what is all this? What's wrong with you? Aren't you supposed to be my friend? Is the Reginald I know even a real person? I felt dizzy, and I felt sick. The room felt like it was spinning. My head throbbing. I tried to stand up, collect myself, but when I caught a glance of the mirror, I don't understand. What is this? My head. It hurts. Mysterious fucking glowing eye. Surely nothing can go wrong. I feel like this is more like a vision, though. I don't feel like this is real in a sense. Like, I know that his behavior is probably very much real, but I don't feel like this specifically what's going on. I think it may not be real, considering we can't find our phone, we can't find our clothes, which both should be in our room right now. It's like my heart is beating in my head. But no, that's not it. It's pulsing. I can't explain this pain, this indescribable, all of this. I needed to get out of here. And I changed back into my normal clothes as quietly as I could. And didn't want to make too much noise. Okay, so the clothes was around. And I certainly wasn't going to leave my clothes here or keep wearing the ones he gave me. Not after... And I still didn't know where my phone was. Okay, so it's not a dream. Never mind. I thought it maybe was a dream. But it would have been a very weird dream if it was. Like a vision. But that didn't matter. As long as I could get out quickly and quietly, I wouldn't have to worry, right? When I was sure I was ready, I approached the door, quietly turned the handle, and pushed it open. It was pitch black in the basement, in the apartment. I couldn't see an inch in front of my own face. The front door, it's not that far, right? If I just took my time taking a slow step after step, surely I could make it out without notice. I took a step forward, holding my breath like my life depended on it. Kinda does, because it must have at this point. Step, step, step. I reached my arms in front of me, so I could feel for the door as soon as it was in front of me. Step, step, step. Is Reginald a light sleeper? Is he even on the couch like he said he would be? And I can't hear him snoring. Or even breathing. Step. Step. This is I'm getting kind of scared. Step. Stop. I feel the wood of the door. Carefully, quietly. I trailed my hands to the door knob. It's locked. Of course, you'd always lock your apartment at night. I unlock it since I was on the inside. It's stuck? No, no, no. No, 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 no. Please don't do this to me. I can't stay here. I can't stay here. It's open. Thank goodness. Mary? He's behind me. And I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. What are you doing up? I'm just trying to find the bathroom. Oh, Mary. That's right. And I forgot to tell you. There's something about me you need to know. And I can tell when you're lying. And she fucking booked it out of there. I ran as fast as my legs would carry me, trying my best not to trip over any of the junk in the halls. And I yelled out for help, hoping that someone would hear. I made my way to the staircase, stepping as fast as I could. It still didn't seem fast enough. And I felt like I was choking on my own adrenaline. Why did I almost say medicine? I had to catch my breath, at least for a second. Well, I right-clicked incidentally. Ah, man. Such a dumbass. I didn't even know there was going to be a QuickTime event in this damn game. And that's extra frustrating because I didn't save in a long time. I've not saved in a long time. I'm going to have to go back through that and skip a bunch if I want to even get back to that point. And that is going to be an annoyance and a half because look at this shit. Look at how much far back I've not saved. Literally since the beginning. I was just continuing on. Okay. Well, whatever, I guess. And I felt a sharp pain in my head. And I can't remember anything except for that. Where are we now? Where am I? What happened? We can't go back, right? It's not how that works. No. If I even want to do that, I'm gonna have to redo everything. That's actually... that actually kind of peeves me off a little bit. My head. Wait. It was Reginald, Oh my god. Oh no. Oh yeah, I guess. This doesn't seem like a good ending at all. What's happening? I tried to move. But I'm restrained. I tried to yell. But my mouth is sealed shut. Perhaps it's better if I don't yell. It might let him know that I'm awake. But what am I supposed to do? I have to get out of here. I heard footsteps near the door. Ah, you're awake. Why are his glasses broke? Don't tell me he yeeted his glasses at us and that's what knocked us out. That's Mary. If that knocked you out, I'm sorry, but maybe that. Shouldn't have been you can't be that flaky, girl. Come on. I thought you might be waking up around now. Good morning, sunshine. How are you doing? You've had quite a night, haven't you? You must be so exhausted. What is this? I couldn't say anything. My mouth was taped shut. Ah, right. I suppose you can't say much like that, can you? Why'd they decide to give him fangs now? That's a little... I guess because it's oh, well, he's supposed to be scary and real up close so you can see teeth. And why are his glasses broken? That's still not answered. I suppose you can't say much like that, can you? I'd take that tape off of you if you promise not to yell. But... that's never worked for me in the past, has it? But, I mean, you and I. We've got such a connection. I'm sure I can decipher what you're trying to tell me. No. That sounds silly, doesn't it? It makes me sound like I'm crazy. But it doesn't change the fact that I can understand you. So, go on. He looks a little cray-cray. Look at him. Goofy-ass smile. Tell me what it is you want. Are you behind the descriptions? What are you going to do with me? I don't think any of these things are actually going to be answered. How long have you been following me? How long? Well, I don't think that really matters, does it? I mean, should it matter? Would it be really be any different depending on how much time passed? And just feel as though that's so unimportant. And I followed you either way. Isn't that what counts the most? You know, Mary, this is really nice. Being able to really talk to you. Isn't that so nice? It feels so natural. So freeing. But you can't see it that way, can you? That's so sad. And after all I've done, that's before right now. That's before you right now. You don't even know him. And I must look like a completely different person in your eyes. That is tragic, truly. You don't know me. You never, ever know me. The real me is someone you wish you didn't. How much longer am I going to keep doing this? I hope this is the end, but despite it making me so miserable, there is something about it that I love too. Maybe it's just because you're a part of it, you know? No matter how many times it happens, at least you're always something to look forward to. What am I saying? You can't even understand a bit of it, can you? I don't know, can I? Feel like I should have saved in that last question. Me being a dumbass. I didn't, so I'll save on this one. Let's just say fuck it. I can, sure. Aha! Even like this, you've got a sense of humor. That's just darling. Or maybe that's just you. You're... Well, to keep it short, let's just say that I adore you. Say, Mary. Well, I'm just curious. How much do you know about me? Or perhaps it's more appropriate to say, how much do you think you know about me? I don't know. How much do we know? How much do we think we know? I guess we can just go with the medium answer. I think I know enough. Let's actually think back. What do we know about him as like a person? We haven't really known anything about him personally other than he is lonely. He's moved in recently to the city. He works on making coffins. To be honest, every time we've kind of tried to get more about him, he's been very quiet, or very hush-hush about it. He hasn't really told us jack. I know enough. Let's just say I know enough. Yes, I suppose it would seem that way. That's so cute, in a way. That you think you know me so well. You must have felt so close to me, right? That thought alone makes me happy. You know, Mary, despite what you may be thinking of me now, I did so much to try and make you happy. You love funerals so much, so I tried to provide you with as many as I could. It's as you said. There's something wonderful in the process, and I couldn't agree more. Now, don't give me that look. It was all for you. Ah, but of course, you don't appreciate it, do you? I mean, it's not as if you ever do. I try so hard, and for what? You're never satisfied. If it never works, then maybe it's time for a change. And I should start trying something else instead. I'm so sorry. Am I scaring you again? I am scaring you again, aren't I? I don't mean to ramble. It's just, I don't get many opportunities to really talk to you like this. So I tend to take advantage of it, of times like these. But that's stressing you, isn't it? Now stop now. You should get some rest after all. As I said, you must be so exhausted. And you'll probably appreciate it, and you'll probably appreciate having that energy later. We've got a big day ahead of us. And you're your last morning here. Even if you must enjoy its sleep. Asleep. Well, I think I said enough. Once again, I apologize. I do not mean to ramble so long. I'm just going to finish setting up everything. It won't take long. So don't go anywhere. Haha. I felt tears begin to roll down my face. This can't be it. This can't be it. There's gotta be something else. Some way out of here. I can't just... Something. Please. Anything. Please help me. I just need to get out of here. This can't be how it ends for me. Please. Please help me. Well, since you... Okay, I couldn't even read. Let me read the damn thing. Fuck. Huh? What? What happened? Am I free? Oh, our shadow has a smile on its face. That's a little freaky. But okay. We are being assisted by something. Well, not free, but I shouldn't think about it right now. I have to focus on getting out of here. Okay, be calm about this. What's the first step? Pull tape off? I reached up towards my mouth to pull the tape off, but quickly stopped myself. If it hurts and I scream, then Reggie will be alerted right away. That's the last thing I want to happen. I'll just have to leave it on for now. Okay, rope. There's nothing I can use that for right now. Window? I stepped towards the window and looked down. It was still dark outside, and I had hoped that since this was an apartment, there might be a fire escape on the window I could use to get down. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything of the sort attached to this window, but it looked like as if it was my only shot of getting out of here. But how? Rope? Okay. Even if it takes a bit longer, the end being so frayed just make me feel nervous. Is that okay? Is it that okay for rope? How do you even fall apart like that anyways? Check the wardrobe? I stepped carefully over to the wardrobe in the room. I tried to be light on my feet. I didn't want Reggie to know I was walking around. Thankfully, the wardrobe was not unlocked. I tried to prevent it from creaking as I opened it up. There's more rope in here. This should hopefully be enough to get me to the bottom. Even though things were looking up right now, I started to hear Reggie's footsteps stomp outside. I have to get out of here before he comes back. Hurriedly, I tied one end of the rope to the exposed pipe. And I had hoped that it would be sturdy enough to hold my weight, and that, that the knot I tied would be secure enough to not fall apart. And I tossed the other end out the window. The rope seemed close enough to ground me to get out safely enough. Well, here goes nothing. Ow. That's a good thing my mouth was still covered. I did not expect to slide down so fast on such a rough rope. And I felt it tear through my skin like scissors on the wrapping paper. It's fine. I just have to be more careful going down the rest of the way. I made it to the bottom somehow. Aside from the raw and slightly bloody skin on my hands, I was safe. I was safe. I had to keep it that way. Oh. I ran out of the alley I had escaped into and into the street. Once I was out, I noticed the sun finally starting to rise in the sky. Hearing him say earlier that he had a big day ahead of us, it made me wonder if this was his alarm to come back and get me. I wonder if he knows I'm gone by now. The further I got down the sidewalk, the more people I began to see lining the streets. People getting ready to leave for work, sanitation workers starting on their routines. It made me feel safer. I began to remove the tape from my mouth, and I just ripped it off at once and tried to keep from letting more tears follow the pain. And I tossed it out into a street trash can, and then maybe I should have contacted help first, but I was so tired. And I just wanted to go home. Girl. You know he probably knows where we live, right? Like, I kept my hands hidden and folded the entire time as I got onto the bus. I didn't want anyone to see and start asking me about it. I'd take care of it once I got home. And I couldn't get there soon enough. The ride back to the stop felt like forever. And on top of that, I still had to walk to the cabin. Even though my hands felt like they were on fire, and I felt a strange sense of calmness as the leaves in the grass and sticks of the forest floor crunched under my feet. Like nothing could hurt me here. Even though I knew that wasn't true. Before I knew it, the cabin was in my sight again. Is that Croven? Outside, smoking on the porch? I thought he went out last night. Whatever, it doesn't matter now. Croven! I called out. My voice still felt a little weak, but I think it was just because of how exhausted I was. Croven! Croven! He picked up his head to look at me, and ran over when he did. Seeing his expression, I couldn't help but start to cry. I had let a few tears escape here and there, but now, finally feeling complete safety, and I guess I couldn't help but just let it all out. I tried to explain to him what had happened as best as I could, though I feel my thoughts were scrambled and it probably didn't make much sense altogether. I tried to tell him about Reggie, about how I thought he was my friend and that I trusted him, how I found things that belonged to me in his room, and how he tied me up. Damn, words. How my hands got all scraped up from my escape and that it was my only way out. He listened to all of it without saying a word. Just that look of bewilderment on his face. When I was finished is when he finally spoke. Hey, hold on for a second. I watched him swing around the back of the house and heard the clang and noise of a few objects. Then he walked back out in front of me. Hey, Mary. Where do you say this friend of yours lives? Bro is already Croven is locked in. He's gonna go, Croven. Don't get in trouble now, Croven. Like, we could just call the police probably. But nah, he said, let me deal with this. I just want to talk. And I stopped Croven from doing anything heinous. I begged him that, even though the police aren't always the best option, to please call them in this scenario. He agreed to do so. Perhaps I shouldn't have been there during the police investigation. But I felt like I had to be. Besides, I needed to be able to show them where he was keeping me. But wouldn't you know? It was the strangest thing. Because it was as if Reginald had completely disappeared. It was just as if his stuff was gone, as if he was gone. But everything surrounding him was gone too. His car, sure. But all his personal belongings as well. The books he had, pictures of me he had, everything in the vanity. And not even just that. All his cabinets were empty, as well as his fridge. I mean, listen, man's been doing this for a while, so... since he is the butcher, he's been on this run for a good while. I doubt us escaping was gonna really be enough. No clothes in the closet. It was as if this apartment was as if this was an apartment up for sale. I overheard one of the officers' walkie-talkies. Supposedly, the little workshop he ran was empty too. How could this be? It had been a little over an hour since all this happened. There was no way that's enough time to pack up everything and just leave without a trace. In the midst of the investigation, I noticed an envelope clearly left on the floor. All of the officers seemed to step around it, as if they couldn't see it. But it was in plain sight. I picked it up. Oh, what does it say, girl? Like, come on. It's been a few weeks since then. Things are back to the way they were before I met him. I don't see any crazy symbols anymore or get weird bouts of pain and dizziness as a result. That intense pressure I used to feel, it's like a far-off dream now. Reginald is gone. He's simply gone. Nothing that belonged to him is here anymore. No one saw him leave. And some of his neighbors don't even seem to remember him. Like they had no idea that... they had that neighbor despite him claiming that he lived there so many years. It almost felt like he never existed at all. But I know that's not true. Reginald was definitely here. And was as real as anyone else. In other better news, the rate of deaths in town has sharply decreased, and no one spreads rumors of a crazy killer anymore. I'm happy about that. I haven't received any messages from the mysterious number, though. Every time I send something out, I never get a reply anymore. It's like all the people I knew are disappearing. Just like Mom and Dad. I said everything that belonged to Reginald disappeared. But that's not true. Not everything did. The envelope left on the floor of his apartment. It contained a note addressed to me. Mary, I must have given you quite a fright. You look so scared of me. And I wish I could say I wasn't used to seeing that face. And I understand that none of this is going to make any sense to you. It hardly makes sense to me. But I hope you can believe me when I say that what I did, it was only because I truly cared about you so much. And I know that even if you were able to see my reasoning, you wouldn't agree. And that's because you're such a good person. But I'm not. However, that's never stopped you from being my friend before. So the next time we meet, I hope we'll continue to stay that way. Yours forever, Reginald. Dear Reginald, you're right. I don't understand why you did what you did. And I guess I'll never know now. But even knowing the truth about you, I wish I could say it was easy to say goodbye. It isn't. Not even a little bit. It just feels like I lost a friend. And it's miserable. I wish I can understand why you did all that. But I just can't. So I hope that the next time we meet, you'll explain it to me. And we're next to the grave that was, destroyed. I'll be waiting for your mail. What a strange little... I don't know what to think about this. Okay. Completed another route. I kind of want to skip and see if I could dodge and weave and all that. But it's going to take a bit. I'm actually going to... We're still going to stream for a good bit. We're still going to stream. No worry about that. But I got to go do something for a while. A couple of minutes, like 10 minutes maybe. And I'll be right back afterwards. So, see you in 10. All right, it took me a little longer than I originally thought, by a few minutes. I did say we were gonna try and bob and weave, so let's see if we can skip to that one part where Homeboy decides to throw something at us. We'll probably just end up in the same place as before, but yeah, we're just gonna be doing that for fun. Right here. Can you skip? I'll be okay. Skip. Skip. Trying to contact me. Skip. No more questions. Skip. Wishes. Skip. Skip. Alright, blah blah blah. Do you really want to? Are you sure it's alright, or do you really want to? That okay? Skip. Or the bad things that was happening to me. Skip. Do you think I'm weird? Skip. Good thing I still remember some of these choices at least. How's your day been? Skip. I lived here. I'm always. Yeah, I've always lived here. Tell me about work. Skip. Let me save here because I kind of don't remember what part I have to save. Just gonna, because I know we're gonna probably feel a lot. How can I trust someone like you? I wish things went back to normal. Skip. Go back to bed. Skip. Are you fully dressed? Skip. Okay, pufferfish. Save again. Skip. I'm sure they do. Skip. I'm just trying to pick the same options I picked before so that I don't change anything. Call Reginald. Skip again. Watch TV. Okay, save here again. Gonna override so many saves until we get to the point. Yes. Watch. Alright, now we're here. Alright, let's see if we can fucking... Okay, just keep an eye out for wherever these options are gonna pop up so that we can actually click on them. Okay, well, looks like I'm a little stupid. Load? Because I felt like I clicked on it. It didn't happen. Oh, come on, I clicked on it. That was kind of BS. Hold on. What the? Was that a whole ass printer? The fuck? Okay, we dodged in time. Good. What the? Sorry. I just grabbed the first thing I could find. It wouldn't have hurt that. It wouldn't have hurt that bad. Promise. And I kept running. No time for breaks. I had to get away. Did anyone hear my calls for help? Did any of them even care? I hope at least someone called the police and they were on their way. God, I couldn't run fast enough. I pushed open the heavy front doors, hoping that once I was out, I could lose him somewhere in the streets. But okay, yeah, he's gonna just snatch us up. He is, a whole ass man with height advantage, so he's just gonna have a longer stride as well. Scrambled to get out of his grip. Punching him in the face caused him to drop me, and I heard his glasses fly off into the sidewalk as I continue to run. Okay, so yeah, that's why his glasses were broken, because if we succeeded, kind of, we would have just broken his glasses. I tried yelling out for help again, but my voice felt like it was lost. The more I tried to force the words out of me, the more my body felt incapable of doing so. It was like I was in a dream. Even though I was trying to run, it felt difficult all of a sudden, like wading through waves. Each step felt like it was dragging me down. I began to slow to a walk, but I couldn't stop moving. I couldn't stop. I had to keep going. Just one foot in front of the other. As long as I don't stop. And then she falls asleep. My walking began to slow. I toppled over, but I still kept moving. On my hands and knees, I kept trying to get away. I could hear him walking up behind me, step by step, at a leisurely pace, taking his time. He wasn't in any rush. He didn't have to worry. Darling, that's no way to get anywhere. He sounded so smug about it. Aren't you tired of trying to run away? Come here. And I felt him grab me by my waist and lift me into the air as if I weighed nothing at all. Suddenly, he was carrying me. Now, isn't that better? Don't you feel better now that you're resting? You don't have to worry anymore, darling. Why not close your eyes? You'll feel even better then. I'm sure of it. I didn't want to. I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to be with him. But I had no choice. I could feel myself slipping out of consciousness. Please, somebody, come help me. There was still that random screenshot that I'm gonna have to look at. And I assume, yeah, we wake up and then we end up here. We just end up back here. Questions on questions. Oh well. I did what I wanted to do, which was just simply check out what would happen if you just successfully dodged. Not much, apparently, is the answer. Not much at all. But oh well. At least that answers the other question I had. The less important one, which was why did Homeboy have his glasses broken? Oh well. We're done with that for today. Next time around, we play this game. We shall we go down the route of hanging out with Twyla. This time we're gonna hope we can get we don't even need to hope because the guide is right there. We'll just go through the good ending. And you know what? We'll see what's on that end of the tunnel. Because this good ending, with Reginald is questionable. Like she wants answers, she's like, you're right, I wouldn't understand, but hopefully next time we meet, you have answers. And it's like, girl, you can't. First of all, he's dipped, he's gone, and he probably, he knows you live in that city. So, who knows if, I would have thought that he knew where she lives, because, she's, we've kind of been getting stalked by him, right? Mary's been getting stalked by Reginald. We know that now. And I'm kind of surprised that nothing really happens regarding, he doesn't really show up all that much. He shows up sometimes in the other endings. I guess, with Craven, right? When you have the argument with Craven and his friends or whatever, or, you run away from him and his friends, and you end up crashing against Reginald, and he's like, hey, I'll take you to the cool place, and he takes you to a cool place, and it's like, oh wow. So it's clear he still keeps an eye on you even throughout all of that, and I'm wondering, he's most definitely going to pop up in the Twyla ending, considering that Twyla is looking after him, or for him, is after him, even if she doesn't know it in the beginning just yet. I think in the beginning she only has a suspicion of him, if I remember correctly, that is. It's been quite a while since the Twyla ending, that I got, which was the first one, and I think, yeah, it was the first one I got out of all the endings, funny enough. It was Twyla's bad ending. But yeah. Tomorrow, I'm unsure of what will get done. I might download one of my other newer games that I still got. I still got one newer game anyways. Might play that, you know. A little change of pace. I'll continue searching for other visual novels as well, since I do like them very much. I like them. Enjoy them. Especially if they have a cute little art style. So I bid thee farewell, my kindred. I hope you all have a great rest of your mornings, afternoons, evenings, and nights, wherever and whenever you are. May the gods bless you, and may the stars shine in your honor. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.